Here we have a rising star, Senator Barack Obama.
Will admit that too many fathers are also missing. Too many fathers are MIA. Too many fathers are AWOL. Missing from too many lives and too many homes. They've abandoned their responsibilities. They're acting like boys instead of men. And the foundations of our family have suffered because of it. You and I know this is true everywhere, but nowhere is it more true than in the African American community.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Romance Seminar. I'm your host, Jay Green, coming to you live from Richmond, VA. Crabs in a barrel. That's when the crabs are trying to escape from the barrel. All of them. The ones that get to the top. The others are trying to use them as ladders and pull up, and no one gets out of the barrel. That's what's been said about the black community on multiple occasions.
Oh no, what are we gonna do about Obama? Oh no, what are we gonna do about him? Oh no, what are we gonna do about Obama? He's gonna become president. Calm down, calm down. Calm down, calm down. What's gonna happen is, they're gonna tear him down for us. All we have to do is just wait. All we have to do is just wait. All we have to do is just wait on them. We don't have to do anything. They're tearing him down themselves. We don't have to do anything.
Today in St. Petersburg, Florida, at an event there, a couple of African-American men stood up during his speech, made a commotion, and held up a sign saying, quote, "What about the black community, Obama?" Later, one of the men asked Obama why he did not speak more to the, quote, oppressed and exploited black community. Obama says he has on issues such as predatory lending, Gina 6, and the Sean Bell shooting. Now,
I made a promise to you, but that means also I want you to give the mic back after you ask your question or make your comment. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So my question is, in the face of the numerous attacks that are made against the African community or the black community by the same U.S. government that you aspire to lead, and we're talking about attacks like the subprime mortgage that you spoke of, that wasn't just a general, ambiguous kind of phenomenon, but a phenomenon that targeted the African community and Latino community. Attacks like the killing of Sean Bell by the New York Police Department and Javon Dawson right here in St. Petersburg by the St. Pete Police, and the Gina 6 and Hurricane Katrina, and the list goes on. In the face of all these attacks that are clearly being made on the African community, why is it that you have not had the ability to not one time speak to the interests and even speak on behalf of the oppressed and exploited African community or black community in this country?
All right. And he asked a legitimate question, so I want to give him an answer. I think you're misinformed about when you say not one time. Every issue that you've spoken about, I actually did speak out. I've been talking about predatory lending for the last 2 years in the United States Senate and worked to pass legislation to prevent it when I was in the state legislature. I have repeatedly said that many of the predatory loans that were made in the mortgage system did target African American and Latino communities. I've said that repeatedly. Number two, Gina 6. I was the first candidate to get out there and say this is wrong, there's an injustice that's been done, and we need to change it. That's number two. When Sean Bell got shot, I put out a statement immediately saying this is a problem. So all I'm sorry, wait, don't start. Hold on, don't start, shouting back. I'm just answering your question.
The fact remains that in order for him to do anything towards anybody's cause, he has to become president. Now, another point comes into light now. When we look at how Obama's running for office, we might think for a minute that he's inevitably going to become the president of the United States. But people, remember, he is not yet the president of the United States. He cannot worry about Gina 6, Katrina, anything, any issue for anybody outside of the state of Illinois until he becomes the president of the United States. So if he's not speaking on your issue the way that he wants you to speak on the issue, if he's not attacking the people that you want him to attack, think about it. Why should he have to? You start a protest. You get up off your butt and start a protest. You go mount the offense.
Yeah. Let go of each other.
Your playlist. Obama says he's got rapper Ludacris on his iPod. Well, now Ludacris is out with his own song about Obama. We had to do a little editing of this, but here's the part that's safe for TV.
And all you other politicians trying to hate on my man, watch us win majority vote in every state on my man. You can't stop what's about to happen. We about to make history. The first black president is destined and it's meant to be. Get out and vote or the end will be near. And the world is ready for change because Obama is here. Yeah.
That song also attacked Senators Clinton and McCain. Late today, the Obama camp condemned the song, saying Ludacris should, quote, be ashamed of these lyrics, unquote.
Obama has to become president, second term, in the midst of it, then put out your rap song. Then put out your start protesting if he's not focusing on it, your group or your interests. Become a lobbyist. There's different ways to go about this in a political process. We're only 13% of the population. We, by sheer scale, statistics, can't elect this guy to be office. So there's a larger percentage of other groups in America that he has to speak to.
People in the room. I'm wondering, Armstrong, on that Obama's been very nimble and very quick to respond in clever and careful ways to a lot of attacks so far in this campaign. Is this one so tricky that he can't get around it? Is this one so tricky that he can't get around it?
Yeah. Let go of each other.
Senator Obama has been a member of the same church in Chicago for 20 years, where his pastor has been Reverend Jeremiah Wright, the man who performed the Obama's marriage ceremony, and the man Obama credits for the title of his book, The Audacity of Hope.
We have supported state terrorism against the Palestinians and black South Africans, and now we are indignant because the stuff we have done overseas is now brought right back into our own front yard.
In other words, the USA brought 9/11 on itself.
All we have to do is just wait. All we have to do is just wait. All we have to do is just wait on them. That's it. We don't have to do anything.
So quick yes or no, if you'd heard them in person, you would have quit. If I had heard them repeated it, I would have quit. If I thought that was the repeated tenor of the church, then I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Reverend Jesse Jackson says he's very sorry for remarks he made about Senator Barack Obama. Jackson made the comments after an interview with Fox News, and he says he simply didn't realize his microphone was on at the time. A videotaped portion of his remarks shows Jackson telling another guest that Barack Obama was, quote, talking down to black people. Speaking to CNN's Don Lemon on the Situation Room, Reverend Jackson said his comments were taken out of context.
You have a whole host of different individuals from within our community giving him the most flack. As he turns left, he turns right, he has to turn around and apologize for most everybody in our community as he tries to move forward. Is it that the black community doesn't understand or appreciate that in order to become president of the United States, which is united because there's unifying states of different cultures, different perceptions, different understandings, different economic levels, different educational levels, uniting all of that together, and in order to lead that, really be the most impartial as possible, because you have to get these people, because we're a representative democracy, to vote for you. And the only way that you're going to convince them to vote for you is first they have to know who you are and feel like you're one of them in the office. We're only 13% of the population. There are different types of leaders that can do different types of things. The President of the United States needs to be a leader for all of us. A leader for all of us. And yet, people are turning him down because he's not vocalizing their interests, just because he happens to be the same complexion, just because he may or may not have the same economic background. A lot of people feel like they don't want to vote for him because something may happen to him, or it's inevitable that he will be defeated. But I say to you, just like Lincoln says, a house cannot stand if it is divided.
They don't stand there for us.